As I'm sure you all have heard by now, famed actor Zachary Levi has in fact endorsed President Donald Trump, and yeah, Hollywood's not taking it very well. Welcome back to Words Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idol, and yes, Star Trek alum Wil Wheaton takes aim at Shazam star Zachary Levi over his endorsement of Donald Trump. What a disappointment, what a disgrace, how disgusting. Shut up, Wesley. Yeah, we're gonna get into this article before we do hit that subscribe button. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day. And look, I've said time and time again when it comes to left-leaning individuals that it doesn't really matter who they endorse for president because we shouldn't be taking advice from celebrities. And for the most part, I still think that holds true. Like, hey, I don't care who Zachary Levi is voting for. That's not his endorsement of Trump is not going to sway me. But it is definitely interesting to see that it seems like more and more, Hollywood actors or individuals of prominence, note, fame, power are coming out in retaliation to the Democrat liberal regime. In fact, I think that Zachary Levi has been trying to show us he's based, drip feeding us, slowly telling us ever since his appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience. So, if you didn't see that, it was actually a really good episode. But that being said, we're going to go ahead and cover this. Shazam duology star Zachary Levi drew the ire of the Hollywood community on Saturday night when he appeared alongside former presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and former Representative Tulsi Gabbard at a Donald Trump campaign rally in Michigan. And to be fair, the guy isn't necessarily a hardcore right-winger or anything. He is doing the support of Trump because of his support for Tulsi Gabbard and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And you know what? That's fair. At least he's not out here, with the establishment trying to, I'm going to bow and kowtow to the Harris Walz campaign. Frankly, I love Tulsi Gabbard. I think Tulsi Gabbard's awesome. I actually think she should have been the VP pick, not J.D. Vance. Her or Vivek Ramaswamy, one of the two. Either way, the point is, yeah, a lot of folks, both left and right, support Tulsi just because she's a good candidate. Same can be said for Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I mean, look, his policies, they're a bit far too left-leaning for me, but at least his heart was in the right place. He cared, and he definitely acknowledged the issues with the current, bureaucracy going on in the government. So, look, if that's where Zachary's heart lies, then I can at least appreciate it. He's not faking it for any sort of internet clout, like, the individuals that are part of the MCU, for example, when they made that really cringe anti-Trump video, if you remember that. Taking the stage the night to moderate a panel between two politicians, the star of Warner Bros. Shazam and Shazam! Fury of the Gods stunned his peers in Hollywood by prefacing the meeting by publicly endorsing Trump rather than Democrat candidate and Hollywood favorite Kamala Harris. The actor opened the panel by endorsing Trump and taking a stand against corrupt governments and their corporate allies by explaining his upbringing and political affiliation, which it's a really good speech. I mean, look, I covered this article on Countercast yesterday from Vanity Fair. It was abysmal. They call it a half-hearted endorsement. And no, it's not half-hearted at all. He's just saying uncomfortable truths that the media doesn't want us to think about. My parents were Kennedy Democrats that turned into Reagan Republicans, and they taught me to have a healthy level of distrust for the government. Based is what we call that, and distrust for the industry that runs them. Double based, baby. You love to see it. Anyone that comes out and says, I don't trust the government, you know what? You're good in my book. Like, we may disagree on some stuff. We might have some issues, but you say those words, I don't trust the government, you're gonna have Papa Leon here eating out your fucking hand. Levi, who is a libertarian, explained his decision to support Trump after his preferred candidate, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., endorsed Trump following the primaries. Now, to be fair, I don't necessarily think that Levi's a libertarian. I do think he's just an incredibly based Democrat, which is totally fine. But to be a libertarian, I just don't see libertarians supporting RFK Jr. because as much as I like the guy, he was still more pro-government control and large government than someone like Trump, for example. So if you were a libertarian, you would have been in the Trump camp the whole time, albeit begrudgingly, because even Trump isn't exactly a libertarian's first choice. I mean, again, speaking as someone who's an anarchist, I very much fall into the libertarian camp a lot. We want folks like, Dave Smith. I stand with Bobby, and I stand with Tulsi, and I stand with everyone else who's standing with President Trump, said the Chuck star, because I do believe of the two choices that we have, and we only have two, Donald Trump, President Trump, is the man that can get us there. And he's going to get us there because he's going to have the backing and the support and the wisdom and the knowledge of the fight that exists in Robert Kennedy Jr. and former Representative Tulsi Gabbard. And here's the amazing part. I love that he recognizes this. I hope more people recognize this. Trump is building kind of an anti-uni-party. Like, you can say he's building a uniparty. Democrats, independents, Republicans, all working together in harmony. But really, that's what we already have. The problem isn't just the left. The problem is with the neocons and the left and all those that act like they hate each other in these press conferences. Then behind closed doors, they're all going to the same parties and making the same back-end deals. And the uniparty is what has been destroying this nation for God knows how long. Trump is building an anti-uniparty to take on the uniparty. And yeah, I'm glad that that is recognized. That is, I think, the only way to move forward. We live in a country that's been hijacked by a lot of people who want to take this place off the cliff, he continued, offering a non-direct criticism of the Democratic Party. Now, hard disagree. He's not just criticizing the Democratic Party. Again, he is criticizing the uniparty. He's also criticizing the Mike Johnsons and the Kevin McCarthy's and the Paul Ryans and these individuals that aren't doing anything to actually move the needle in a sustainable way back to where we should be as a nation. It's not just a non-direct criticism of the Democrat Party. It is a direct criticism of the uniparty. We're here to stop that. We're here to make sure we're going to take back this country. An outspoken opponent of Big Pharma ever since his father died from cancer in January 2023, less than 1 week after the death of his dad, in response to an ex-user who asked, "Do you agree or not that Pfizer is a real danger to the world?" The actor replied, "Hardcore agree." I remember this. I don't remember if I covered it or not. I'm pretty sure I did. Either way, it was based as hell, and it led to a very large conversation about whether or not Levi was, in fact, a secret conservative. Levi then asserted that Americans were being inundated every single day with poison. Dude! Based to the max! Not just the foods that we're eating, and not just the pharmaceuticals that are being shoved down our throats, he explained, but also in the images we're looking at, the audio that we're hearing through our media. We were being poisoned and lied to. Homie used to have that baby face. Look at him now. Fucking, you got that, rocking that full beard, you got the hair pushed back. Like, homie looks like he's making that full conservative body change, and you love to see it. While the industry will certainly take aim at Levi for publicly endorsing Trump, Levi made it very clear not to fall for the left-wing tactics of division, telling attendees Harris supporters are being deceived by more powerful forces and preaching unity in the face of division. Citing his Christian faith, the actor called on his fellow voters to not to attack their opponents, as every single person, whether you're a Democrat, whether you're a Republican, whether you're libertarian or independent, every single one of us is a child of God. I don't know that I go that far. I mean, don't get me wrong, Christian myself, I've been very open about that. But that being said, and he is correct about the all being children of God part, but, yeah, maybe we shouldn't attack them physically, but mock and shame and ridicule, yeah, those are all very good tactics. People should feel shame if they are actually putting their faith in Kamala Harris and the overarching regime that is leading us down a communistic Marxist path. Every single one of us is deserving of being seen and heard and loved and valued. Totally agree. That does not mean you still can't be mocked and shamed, though. But I do appreciate the Christian sentiment. Following Levi's speech, social media exploded with the reactions to the news, with some cheering on the actor for his bravery and others condemning him for daring to endorse a Republican, much less Trump. Among the latter was none other than Star Trek The Next Generation actor Will Wheaton, who the day after the rally took to his personal Facebook page because even though he's young, even though Will Wheaton is on the younger side, he still uses Facebook like a freaking boomer. I'm actually flabbergasted that like you know, everyone is on X now. Who uses Facebook? I still use Messenger because that's just like an easy way to keep up with my buddies. But that's about it. I can't remember. No. I have been logging into Facebook recently. You want to know how I've been logging into, why I've been logging into Facebook? To vote for Nadia in some upcoming horror contest she's a part of. And then the moment I do my vote, I close the app. That's the extent of it. You telling me that homie still uses his personal Facebook page? Okay, to share his newfound feelings of disgust towards Levi. The virtue signal is about to get so damn strong, folks. Something I love about our nerd community is how welcoming and diverse we are, he wrote. We are a safe place for everyone who has ever been othered. Except for Trump supporters, apparently. Except for people that think ideologically different than you. But again, you're so deep down this liberal left-wing rabbit hole, you cannot see the irony in your words. We're a safe place for vulnerable people to come together and safely love all the wonderful, nerdy stuff we love. With that in mind, I think it's pretty important for anyone who supports Nerd HQ knows who and what they are supporting. Yeah, maybe they're supporting lower taxes, more freedoms, the ability to actually, I don't know, buy groceries for their family. Because, look, they're not going to be supporting Nerd HQ, and they're not going to be buying anime statues or new video games if they first can't buy milk, cheese, and eggs so that, you know, their little boys and girls can have a full belly before they go to school the next day. Because, of course, they're in public school being indoctrinated day in, day out. I mean, look, maybe the economy will get so good that people can start sending their kids to private school or homeschool them. But you know what? And maybe that's just a pipe dream on my end. What a disappointment, he then continued. What a disgrace. How disgusting. Returning to the post a few hours later, Wheaton would edit his initial worst ad, gently pointing out anyone who is not aware of it to the paradox of tolerance. A place is not safe if you can't keep out people who would make it unsafe. Really? Have you kept out all those Antifa rioters who, have burned and looted all those black-owned businesses during, the summer of love? What have you done for the individuals that, have had their livelihoods completely and utterly destroyed by the policies that you, in fact, that you have voted for? How's that water in Flint, Michigan, which has been democratically ran for about 70 years now? Answer me all that, Willie. This includes non-physical safety, and fundamental human rights are not a matter of opinion. Actually, they are, considering we cannot agree on what is a fundamental human right. The only human rights are the ones granted to us by God himself, and those are laid out pretty damn clearly in the Constitution. But again, you couldn't care less about that. You don't believe in God-given rights. You don't even believe in the Constitution because you are a spoiled, privileged Hollywood pretender. Notably, Levi previously stated that he did not support Trump in 2020, but also refused to condemn Trump supporters like members of his industry were directed to do. I'm not a fan or supporter of Trump, and I find his behavior vulgar, callous, narcissistic, and lacking empathy, he said. And while I'm not a conservative, I know many who backed 45 not because they liked him, but because he was the only candidate they felt cared about their needs. And you know what? That's a pretty base statement as well, and that was back in 2020. Again, people have been writing this, Zachary Levi is a secret conservative train this entire time. I don't think he's a secret conservative. I think that he's just an intelligent liberal. He is an old-school Democrat. At best, he's a libertarian. Frankly, I would actually prefer he be a libertarian, but I don't think his actions quite actually line up with that, even if that's what he wants to consider himself. The point is, he's a good guy. He seems like a well-reasoned guy. He's actually being very empathetic to people that loathe him, which is good on him, but also this shouldn't really change your opinion of who you're voting for. Like if you are looking at me like, oh, well, Zachary Levi is voting for Trump, then, I guess I better as well. No, you're a moron. You are actually part of the problem. But I can't see too terribly many folk doing that. Instead, we're just going to kick back and say, good for you, Zach. Love to see it. But those are just my opinions. Let me know yours in the comments down below, or let me know on X, where you can find me at Bolt the Word. And please do subscribe. I am a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day. Not always about the political system and Donald Trump, although I do love talking about that, but also anime, movies, music, Magic the Gathering, you name it. Check me out on Instagram at wordsofparadise_Leon and become a member for $4.99 a month. You can join the Discord, choose the articles I go over on a day-to-day basis, choose the videos I react to on my Friday night live streams, and of course, get involved with over 90 other vital idols. We are a bright, beautiful, glowing, vibrant community that I cannot wait to grow even further because we do care about diversity, but only one kind of diversity of thought. If that's interesting to you, join the Discord, hit subscribe, and until next time, it is all here in the Nerdosphere. This has been Words of Paradise.